Welcome to another edition of Blue Monday, but a not so Blue Monday this week, because the Blues actually won at Southampton over the weekend in a very unlikely turn of events. Today we're at the People's Hub Cafe in the middle of Spellow Lane, not quite the top of Spellow Lane, and yeah, it's a lovely place to come for a coffee if you're ever around the ground.
£1 for a cup of tea.
Belter, can't argue with that.
Got that, mate, yeah.
So Toffees the weekend.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Relief.
Yeah.
Not a relief, I think. It was, I don't know, I think in some respects, I suppose you look at it and it was very similar to how we played against Brighton before. It's like the pattern of the game in general. Don't think we were amazing, don't think we were particularly bad. But obviously the breaks didn't really go for us that day, whereas at the weekend, you know, I think we were probably playing against a bit of a poorer side. And maybe just the experience of being in that situation at Brighton in tough conditions on the South Coast when the game's sort of getting away from you a bit. The lads sort of dug it out a bit, but just relief more than anything, mate. It would have been horrible sitting here over these 2 weeks, wouldn't it?
Oh God, that was a stew over that.
Stewing over a defeat after being ahead, or you know, being at the relegation zone on goal difference, and you know, talking about managers and potential replacements of Silver and all that sort of thing. It just get
it would have been relentless, wouldn't it?
So yeah, just relief, I'd say. But yeah, good performance, and I think good performance from a few individuals as well.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone was probably thinking the same thing at half time. We've absolutely leathered them there, and we've only got in one goal. If there's one negative point from the day, I think it's that we just didn't, maybe not create enough clear-cut chances and just didn't take enough clear-cut chances. Yeah,
I was saying this in the post-match, I think it must be quite hard when you've dominated the half like that and you're all 1-0 up and you've created chances. I think when you can go in and people would say it's an easy team talk for the manager because he's just going to be saying do the same thing again.
Yeah.
But if you just say that, I can't imagine that really register as the players.
No.
You sat there thinking, should have killed this off. They're regrouping, they're going to come out again. And I think it takes players that have got ultra strong mentalities to be able to pick it up and go on again another level. I think we've shown our players haven't quite got that yet.
Yeah.
So I think it was always going to happen. It was always going to come, and it was just whether Everton could see out that. I was going to say barrage, but it's very much a barrage, wasn't it, from Southampton?
Yeah.
But they didn't. But yeah, there were moments in the first half where you just thought a bit of care, a bit of composure with that final ball, and they would have been out of sight. And I think if we go 2-0 up inside 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they probably go on to win 4 or 5-0
yeah.
a day.
I think so, yeah.
But they didn't, as this team does so often. They let teams back in and had to do it the hard way in the end.
Yeah, I'm convinced they just hate us. And they just want to put us through as much pain and misery as possible, even when we win.
I think as well. My God.
Well, we were essentially already a goal down because I think there's one game he's not scored against us. There's only one game, he's not scored.
It's just like,
and I think that's the second 6-inch tapping he's had. Because he scored one for Liverpool, didn't he?
He also scored one on the second day of last season. Do you remember, from the set piece?
Oh yeah, of course.
That was the first time I went zone marking and lost the plot. But that was like a little tap in, wasn't it, as well? But yeah, he's not even that good.
Oh no, he's terrible.
It's just
a dwarf-headed biff. Basically.
Couldn't put it better myself. But he's just annoying, isn't he? Very annoying in football.
Yeah,
but they are terrible.
Oh, they're bad. They're really bad. But I mean, I think for me that was the hard thing for Marco Silva. You say at half time, the team talk, people might think it's easy. You say, well, you did well that half. But the thing for Marco Silva, he could have turned around to the players and said, look, you might not play that well in the second half. That might be as good as you're going to play. Yeah. They won't play as badly as they did in the first half, and they didn't. I think for 10 minutes, they had the upper hand, and that's always going to happen in any game. No matter how bad the opposition are, they're going to have a 10-15 minute spell where they put the pressure on, they will create a few good chances. The disappointing thing again from our perspective is they scored in it. Yeah, it was very limp, wasn't it? That, it felt as though it didn't really take much for them to get it on top of Everton. And when they did get on top of Everton, it didn't really felt like it took much for them to score. Yeah. You sort of sat there and you're thinking, I think that's where you look for your experienced players, and your our players sort of dig you out and get a foul, and relieve a bit of pressure. And it just felt like it was coming. And like I said, it wasn't really a barrage from Southampton. It was just a few decent balls into the box. It was a few decent runs from that Buffon. You could just see the panic set in. But I suppose that is indicative of a team which we are, which has been so bad away from home over the last few years. And
if you're 1-0 up in the first half and the game's going well and you're creating chances with ease, you're thinking this is great. But I think when you've had games like Brighton, you've had games like Burnley, you've had games like Bournemouth where all it's taken is one little mistake for the tide to turn, then as soon as you make that one little mistake or you do that one bad pass or they get a bit of pressure or get a few corners, all of a sudden those lads would have been thinking, oh my god, here we go again. So that's disappointing obviously, but I think it's to the credit as well that they managed to sort of turn it around after that.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that's where the positives comes in then, because I think I'd sooner of us won the game the way we did to win 2-1 than to win 4-0. Well, you know what I mean, for the team, not for us, like, I'd love to go down there and batter them 4-0, but I think from the team's perspective, to overcome that setback and not collapse.
It's more galvanised, isn't it?
I think so, because especially when you look at what happened to Brighton, I mean, that was unforgivable, the way they just collapsed. And the same could have happened, because Southampton did have the upper hand there and they did have the players who could clearly get us, but we kind of snuffed that out after 10 minutes and then they were never really back in the game again. Let's just go to the first goal and back to that. How good to see Tom Davies scoring.
Oh, I love him, it's great. I think his last goal was against Southampton, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, last day of the
2000.
Yeah.
I didn't know when that was.
I'd left the ground by that point.
Yeah, oh god, but no, he's just, I think I said this on the post match. I think what I've liked about him recently is that we've all sort of spoke about like what is he as a footballer and how he sort of needs to be in a specific role to thrive and do well. But I think what we've seen over the last few games is he's played in different types of setups. He's played alongside different midfielders, different formations, against varying types of opposition, and he's done well in them all. He's been able to adapt to the situation. He's been able to show maturity. He's been able to get forward. I think the game at the weekend, you look at it and think, he scores that goal, fantastic. Makes a really important tackle at the end of the first half, which is fantastic as well. And I always remember when he broke through and talking about him, and I always remember saying that I didn't really think he was ever going to be a midfielder that would dominate games in regards to his passion and setting the tempo of football matches, and I don't think he's technically good enough for that. But I think what I always thought he would be was a moments player. And I think we all think about that Manchester City game where he scored the goal that day. I think what's also forgotten about that game is that he plays a really incisive pass to settle.
It's Morales, isn't it?
Yeah, for Lukaku's first goal. Gets back on the line for to head the ball away to clear off the line for them, and obviously he scores that great goal himself. And I always feel like he's got moments in him in games to be important, and that was very much back to that at the weekend. He scores the goal, he makes the tackle, and he's just all round neat and tidy. And made up for him, absolutely made up for him. And I think him and Holgate in particular, in a time of the season where plenty of shared responsibility and been really poor, I've really stuck their head above the parapet and gone, we're here to stay in this team now. And Davis will definitely get a run in the team now, just by virtue of the fact that the injuries, although in fairness, if we had all our midfielders fit, he'd still be warranted in his place without doubt.
I think so,
And Holgate certainly has moved above Michael Keane in the pecking order, and him and Mina look like a good partnership. But no, it's just there's certain players that you just love seeing score and celebrate a goal. He is one of them.
It's just got to make you insanely happy when you see him score, because he's so made up as well. He's delighted, isn't he? But Silva said that's something they've worked on. I'm not entirely sure it was quite like that. What did he say?
He said they worked on Davis getting to the back post. I mean, it's a very looping header from Holgate, isn't it?
You can't really sort of coach those things, can you?
2 goals and 1 goal and 2 assists now for Holgate in his last 3 games.
He's done really well, hasn't he?
He's been the number 10
defence. He's too good for a centre half. I think as I said, this partnership with Mina's coming on leaps and bounds, and he does look like next to the senior player in Mina. He looks a lot more comfortable than being next to the senior player in Keane. And Michael Keane doesn't look comfortable being the senior player, does he? I think we've touched on this before. He doesn't look comfortable being the senior player in the partnership.
Well, Mina's a dominant presence, isn't he? Just I don't think
everything about him.
I don't think there's much in terms of height there's much height difference between him and Keane, or the build necessarily, but when you watch them on the pitch, he just feels like he's more there, and his presence is much more significant than Michael Keane. He was going to get at the weekend. He's obviously been our best player comfortably this season. But Holgate in particular, better on the ball than Keane, obviously a bit quicker, probably not as good in the air in that regard, but it feels as though they're more of a natural partnership. You've got lads in that centre-back partnership who can do different things, as opposed to Keane and Mina. It feels like they just do the same thing. Maybe we go up against the quick forward, or we get put, someone gets the ball put in behind on the turn, there's no one to really run in behind after them. Whereas now it feels there's different people who do different jobs in that centre-back partnership.
Yeah. Another young player who did well at the weekend, Richarlison, scores the winning goal.
Yeah.
Exactly what he needed after the sort of controversy of the Paul Joyce article, singling him out for a bit of criticism. I was surprised to see him start on the right. I thought he started him up front. He started on the right, didn't he?
No, played on the left.
On the left, sorry, yeah, played on the left, yeah, wasn't on the right. With Tosin up front now, I think Tosin did okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we do miss something from Richarlison when he plays out wide.
Yeah.
I think he looks a lot more dangerous up front, and again, that goal he scored was like a striker's goal, wasn't it? It wasn't a wide player's goal.
It was. Although I suppose if you look at it, he makes the out to in run, doesn't he, from the left hand side? And I think it's their fullback who, forgive me, I can't remember his name, just sort of switches off and he gets into that position. I think it just emphasises to me that if you play him in an advanced position, whether it's wide on the right, through the middle, or wide on the left, he will get into positions to score goals, and it's a brilliant cross from Sidibe.
That's fantastic.
But it's not a straightforward finish. I'm not entirely sure he gets it cleanly.
No, well, the pitch is wet and it properly skips up just before he kicks it. Yeah. So, I mean, lesser players, it looks an easy finish for him, but lesser players, they could easily sky that or completely miscue it. But it's a really good finish.
He's a goal scorer, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think when he came to the football club, I think he scored 5 goals in his first season for Watford. The people saying, in front of goal his finishing's poor and he loses confidence very quickly. Not really seen much of that at all, have we?
No, not at all.
It's hard to remember many real sitters he's missed in the game. When he gets chances, he will tend to be pretty clinical with his right foot, with his head, and with his left foot, as we saw at the weekend. Still little things in his game which he needs to improve, with regards to decision making and stuff like that. But I think what's important for him is that if he can have a base level in terms of performance, regardless of where he plays, and how he influences games, and then he's always a goal threat as well.
Yeah.
Then that's going to be really important for him, because he's got so much more to offer other than goals. But if he's just constantly chipping away, I think is that 5 or 6 for the season for him now. I think he's 5-0 competitions, so he's well on his way again. I think it's 2 in his last 3 games. He gets the assist for the own goal at Brighton. He should have had penalties, obviously, as well. Yeah. So we're looking at a player now who is influencing games for us. And after a slow start to the season, maybe we looked a bit jaded after the Copa America. It looks as though he sort of got that edge back in his play again. Yeah,
I think his time at Watford, can be summed up in that Chelsea game, which seems to be a microcosm of his time at Watford and Marco Silva's time at Watford as well. Because he probably should have scored about 3 or 4 goals in that game. He didn't. They ended up getting beat. And then it kind of dropped off after that, didn't it? Because I remember watching that game and thinking, God, I wish we played like this, and I wish we had players like him.
Yeah. He was brilliant against us in the game with Goodison, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Everton ultimately won 3-2.
But I think you can see how much he's come on even from then. So just a year at Everton, playing with the Brazil squad, you can see playing with those better quality players has really brought him on loads. Yeah. And he's a proper threat baller.
The crosses, I didn't think Sidibe had his best game at the weekend, but that's an absolute dream of a ball, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's on the pass from Iwobi is perfect. It's on the run, and I think we've seen little signs from him that he's got that quality in him. And as much as Seamus Coleman's been a great player for us and brings certain aspects to his game, I can't remember him ever whipping a cross in like that where he proper digs it out and it's got whip and it's in that 6-yard box. But I think Sidibe's well on his way to cement his place as well in the side. And
I think so.
It's good. Good stuff. I think it's credit to like him and Holgate and Davis that in these times of adversity, when a lot of players have been poor and really crumbled, that they've sort of said, right, I'm going to seize this chance to make my position in the side. And they're the good things to come out of this adversity, I suppose. I think those 3 in particular are surefire lads in the side now, definitely.
Do you think it's a worry that it's fallen to those players to take on the responsibility, because we've got a lot of senior players in that team and they all seem to have disappeared a little bit?
I suppose, I think Coleman's, take position by position, Coleman looks like a player on the way out now, doesn't he, in regards to the injury issue he's had. Keane has never struck me as somebody who sees his chance or sees his leadership or is comfortable when he's pushed out of his comfort zone, so I'm not really surprised by that. Davis is probably the one where you'd look at and say, when he came into the side last season, probably in a team often that was playing better than this one now, you look at him and go, oof, he's not making bad decisions, he's not playing particularly well. And I remember against West Ham, the game he first came back into the side, when he missed that chance early on. I thought, oh no, here we go again. That lad's confidence is going to be completely gone here. But maybe it's disappointing, especially when you've got people like Delph in the squad and older players. But frame it differently, try to do a positive show. Try to do a positive show. It's credit to those lads to step up. And Mason Holgate's 23 now. Tom Davies is 21.
Yeah.
So they're not kids anymore. The lads who've probably got a few hundred Premier League appearances under the belts now between them. So just happy to see them both looking like, in the summer you could say. I suppose you wouldn't have been surprised if neither were at the club, even in regards to loan or.
Well, there was a lot of talk about. We were saying a lot on the show, weren't we, on the shows in the summer, that maybe a loan move could be the thing for Tom Davies because it doesn't look like he's going to get in. Now, whether it's by luck or design or bad luck, with injuries and stuff, he's in there, and as you say, he's cementing that place. Well, it is,
That's what happens.
It's like I go back to the 1986 World Cup finals, a bit before your time.
Yeah.
But basically. England were on the way out, and then they lost Brian Robson and Ray Wilkins through injury and suspension. Peter Reid came in and totally changed the whole thing. He took a few. I think Trevor Steven came in and Peter Reid totally changed the outlook of the team. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it was like, obviously I was biased in that regard because I wanted to see them, but it really did. Just that bit of bad luck took out a few established players, put a few relatively unknowns in, and it worked. So that's the sort of thing that's the kind of luck a manager needs.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So even though he's been horrifically unlucky with injuries, if you can take a positive and you can get players like that in the team and it works, that's how these things click.
Yeah.
Just going on to Marco Silva then. He's done all right since the last break, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I think it's hard to get it's easy to get bogged down with what happened at Brighton. But if you look at it, we've won 3, is it? Out of 6, we've won 3, lost 1. Drawn 2.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Drawn 2. Yeah. The one we lost, we shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
The one the Spurs game, we shouldn't really have drawn that because we had 2 stone wall penalties.
Yeah.
So it's like to be fair, it's gone really under the radar, but we've done a lot better since that.
Yeah, we've got a little bit better, haven't we? I think it's. I don't think it's been a transformation by any means, but it feels as though they've took a few little steps forward. I'd say that's probably as far as I go. It looks like they took a few little steps forward, and I think you're absolutely right in regards to the nature and the result of the weekend. I think getting that goal after being pegged back in front of the away fans, it's that sort of moment which unifies everybody, isn't it? The players in front of supporters, everyone goes away happy, singing the players' names, players coming over at the end. I think Yerry Mina and a few others gave the shirts to the crowd. It all just makes everyone feel really good about everything, and obviously they're going away now on international duty, but when they come back there should be positive conversations on the training pitch about how they fought back, how good the atmosphere was, how much they enjoyed the way they played in the first half. It should be positive going into that next game, and you've got to say, we'll obviously preview this next week sometime, but the way Norwich are playing at the moment, that's your ideal home game, isn't it? After the break, they do not look good enough for this league at all. Somehow beat Manchester City, which is
that's outrageous, that, isn't it?
Mad. But you look at that and you think that's another chance to take another step forward, and then all of a sudden you go into this December and you're not going, oh my god, it's December. You're sort of going, oh my god, it's December. Could be all right.
Well, that's it. If we can go, how many points are we on now? 13.
Yeah, 13.
13. If we can go in on 16 points, probably 8-9 points adrift to the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Suddenly you are looking up at the table then. I mean, we're 5-6 points off 5th, are we?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, I mean, it's frustrating on the one hand because a reasonable start to the season, and we'd be right up there. Sheffield United are making waves in this division. They really are nothing special. There's no reason why we shouldn't be up there. We've just kind of blown the good start we've been given. But when we looked at the end of last season, we saw all these games coming up. We were like, we were in terrible form then. Look, leading up to these games, and we were looking at it with a sense of dread, really. And it was kind of the making of the team. Obviously, things changed over the summer, but kind of getting back to that stage now, and we need to make a good run at December. And as you say, that Norwich game is the ideal game for us to sort of say, right, let's just go out and just attack these, get the win, and then set us up nicely for that run of games.
Leicester away after that.
Leicester away after that, yeah. Then it's more after the derby, isn't it, on the Wednesday night?
God, yeah. Hooray.
Yeah, can't wait for all the VAR and that. Actually, that's another thing from the weekend, well, our game anyway. Was there any controversial refereeing or VAR decisions? I don't remember.
The only one which they would have been unhappy about was the Mina foul on, was it Gineppo, where he sort of stepped across him?
Oh yeah, as he shepherded it out.
I don't know if that was a
I think they've been harsh.
Yeah, I think it would have been very harsh, yeah. But it's a bit clumsy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the only thing with Mina, isn't it? The last 2 games you can look at and say, he's made clumsy tackles in the box on Son and the weekend, and you know, on different days they might have both been given. You know, the lads go down easy, but maybe just something for it to be mindful of. You know, especially going into a period of the season we're going to be playing against lively forwards who are quick and canny in regards to what they do in the box, just to be a little bit more careful in regards to those sort of challenges.
Yeah, they always has looked a bit hands-on, haven't they? And a bit clumsy. One final thing, Jordan Pickford made that good save off the free kick at 1-1.
Totally forgot about that.
Thought he had a decent game. No drama, just pretty standard. That you know, that was a big moment, because after what happened at Brighton, that would have been playing on his mind.
Yeah.
I think he seemed to set the wall up better than everything, because that wall at Brighton was weird. The whole thing was just odd.
He wasn't on his side though, which I thought it was a good strike from Ward-Prowse. Like,
yeah, it was. Yeah.
But I think Pickford's issues have been when it's been to his left, that's true. Sorry, not necessarily to his left, but to the side, which he's on. So I was surprised he didn't hit it there. But you know, like you see, it's again, it goes back to that thing where, you know, how many people are going away from that game feel like they've contributed something really important to that game.
Yeah.
You know, he will, you know, Holgate and Mina will after they played, Sidibe will, Davis did, because he obviously scored. You know, Calvert-Lewin and Iwobi were good off the bench with Richarlison scores the goal. There's lots of players on that side who'll come away from that game and think, I really stood up today. And I feel, because although they all say it's a team game and, you know, it's all about the team, you know, most of them are selfish, aren't they? They want to play well themselves, and that's the most important thing for a lot of them. So I think for so many of them to feel as though they were dead important in the win is important as well.
Yeah, I think anyone who's played football at any level, doesn't matter, you can appreciate that there's nothing quite as good as having a team win where you're all in it. It's like, we've done that, lads. But even if you get beat, if you play well, there's that self-respect and you think, well, I had a good game, and that's a little bit of consolation. So if they can all feel they've had a good game, we've contributed to a win, it's like it's going to pick them up now, and hopefully,
fingers crossed.
This international break now, Mark will get to work with some of the players. Another break to work with them when they get back off international duty. And then
he's not gone, has he? He's staying.
Oh yeah, he's and then lead up to the Norwich game.
We've got the derby on Sunday, the women's derby.
Yes.
So we'll be doing a lot of stuff on that this week.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Doing stuff on YouTube as well as pod.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll have all sorts. Yeah.
That's.
I don't know what's planned for what's the score this week, but
we'll do something.
We'll do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously that's happening in town.
Yeah.
At Anfield on Sunday. Have our usual roundup of other things going on as well.
Yeah, there's lots going on. Laces Out is going on this weekend as well.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
On that,
but yeah, that'll be a big weekend for the women's game. And I think Everton are in the ascendancy there, aren't they?
Doing pretty well, and the Reds are doing terribly.
Yeah, so we know what happens there. That's all from this week's Blue Monday. A very happy edition in the People's Hub Cafe. As I say, if you're ever up here, which you should be when you come to the game, pop in, get a coffee, £1 cup of tea, jobs are good.
Much healthier than going and have a bevy as well.
Definitely, yeah. Watch the game with no beer goggles. I can't recommend that enough. Thanks for watching. As Matt said, we'll have all that stuff on this week, so keep an eye out for it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later in the week.